a pretty simple topic to cover this time. So maybe we'll go and swat some of those common enemies that I explained last time. Today I'm explaining the interface of Genshin Impact. Yes, I know, a really simple topic, but at the same time, info dumping is my love language. I love all of you, so I am going to dump as much info as I can on everything that I see here. So, the interface in Genshin Impact, some of it is not actually accessible from the Radial Menu, but I can get into that later. Most of it is accessible right here at your fingertips. This Radial Menu is brought up in the PS4 controls by holding L1. I'm not terribly familiar with the controls for mobile and PC, but I'm sure someone else can fill in the blanks there. Now, you'll notice it's not just one Radial Menu. We got three. The one on the left is controlled by the D-pad. D-pad left does elemental sight. This is good for tracking down things because it makes everything glow, everything interactable glow. And if the interactable elements that are glowing a particular color, like you see the grass is glowing green, that color represents what element that thing is. And so green, or dendro, reacts to pyro by lighting on fire. Up is your tutorial, which only reads active tutorials. Right is your co-op mode list, which I wish this had a tab to go to your friends list from, rather than just, you know, a bunch of recommended random people that I don't know to co-op with. Because I really don't co-op with random people. I would if I had a bunch of free time and was deciding to play, and someone could send me a message before joining me or asking me to join, saying they need help with something in particular. That way I could come prepared to help with that thing. But anyway, back to the menu. On the right side is all controlled, as you can see from the little tiny icons in there, by your action buttons, I suppose. Circle is your currently active gadget. In my case, it's the NRE, which lets me eat food without having to open my inventory. Lovely, lovely. Square is interactive environmental elements, which I don't have any here right now. If I go somewhere with an Electrograna, I could probably grab that and then shoot myself up into the air with the Thunder Orb effect. X I don't think has been used. Triangle is for temporary party members, which you'll get as trial members during certain quests. Oh, on the D-pad side, I forgot to mention down. Down is for data about about environmental hazards. Only place I noticed that come up is in Bale Thunder areas, which I'm not going to because they kill you pretty quickly if you're not shielding yourself. And the sheer cold of Dragonspine. Yes, this place is chilly. I know I didn't have to show you, but I am, because I'm that kind of dork. As are my pets. Now, on the main Radial Menu, that is controlled by the right stick, and that's what you'll be using most of the time.
Glorious in the snow.
But see, now you see down in the down section is
a perfect
sub-zero climate.
for bloodshed.
Yeah, it's telling me it's going to freeze me to death if I spend too much time away from a heat source. How far can I get from a heat source? There it is. It's been a while since I've been at Dragonspine.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that blue bar, that sheer cold environmental thing that it's telling me about, tells me that that blue bar is going to fill up if I spend too much time away from a heat source, and it fills up all the way, I die. You don't die immediately, it does damage. It starts damaging you, but it damages you so fast, there is no hope to heal yourself through it. You're gonna die. Now, to the rest of the Radial Menu. This is actually really lovely scenery when you're not worried about freezing to death. So, also when you have the Radial Menu up, you can zoom your camera in and out. Again, I don't know the buttons from how the buttons change for mobile and PC, but for the PS4, that's L2 and R2 while holding L1. Okay, now the rest of this nonsense. Right here is the wish system. This is where you get your characters, your weapons, all your shiny, and I almost have enough Primogems for another wish, but I'm saving up for the next banner where they're going to be introducing an archer with the Geo element. I spent all my Primogems on this that I had on this banner to get that archer with the she's another fire archer, so she really just does the same job Amber does, but from reading about her skills, she does it better. In the process, I also got the weirdo in the little Tanuki costume, or Mujina costume. She corrects you on that. She basically she's a little ninja wielding a great sword with animal powers that rolls around like Sonic the Hedgehog, and she's dressed like a raccoon. But that's the wish system. The wish system uses two different kinds of resources. The balls you see in the upper right corner, the plain blue ones are called Acquaint Fates. You'll encounter a lot of those, and they're only used for the standard wish and the newcomer's wish. And the ones with the blue and the pink are, I forget what they're called. I can check from the shop, which I'll show you that too. But those fates are used for the time-limited wishes here. Yeah.
Then, well, standing here.
And those banners keep changing with a higher chance to drop certain characters. Now, moving clockwise around our thing, up and to the right is your adventures journal. I've cleared mine out. I highly recommend, if you're a new player, to do everything in this adventures journal that you can, and make sure to open the book to cash in your rewards from it, because that will skyrocket your adventure rank early on and get you all kinds of lovely rewards. That's 25,000 Mora right there. These are some actually decent accessories that you'll outgrow when you're max level, but for the time they're pretty darn decent. Oh, and yeah, on that last page you saw a fate.
They're up to flooding and
Child, you shut up. It's my turn to talk. The backpack on the right is your inventory, where you have all of your items. Inventory tabs going from left to right are weapons, artifacts, like empowerment items, both for your characters and for your weapons. This is where everything you get that levels people up comes from, gets stashed. Foods, ingredients, gadgets. My favorite is still the wind catcher, but the NRE is the most useful because healing is a desperate need in this game. I'm also really liking the seed box. I've already talked about these. There's a teapot that gives us our home away from home. Quest items. Yes, I've got a lot of them. I've done every quest in the game. Don't at me. I want to say this one would be, precious items. It says right in the upper left. I should just be reading there instead of trying to remember. I need a bunch more D's, but that means going back to Dragon's Spine and actually doing dailies here. Acquaint Fates. I don't have any of the pink fates right now. And furnishings. These only exist for the sake of your teapot. And these are the items you can place in your teapot. I've got at least one of each one you can craft, and I'm lagging a bit behind on the ones that you can buy.
I just need a moment to quickly take down some notes.
Now, back to the Radial menu. Yay. Down to the right is your character list. You go here when you want to power up a character, a weapon, an artifact, equip artifacts, equip weapons, upgrade talents, or even just hear their quotes. I would rather hear one of Klee's quotes.
Klee was a brave girl today. I found a really weird-looking lizard. Want me to show it to you?
The answer is no. You don't want her to show you that really weird-looking lizard unless you have Zhao, because that really weird-looking lizard really just drops character upgrade materials for Zhao. I do not have Zhao. Kirsty does. Anyway, down on the radial menu is the map. You see me using this a lot. It's how we get to and fro. I still have some items I missed in Bright Crown, and Dragonspine, and Starfield Valley. I only 100% in 2 areas. Okay. We're not here about exploration right now. Down to the left, your quest list, which mine has only got my daily commissions and my next ascension request, which I am not doing because the world is hard enough at my current world level. And I know there are 2 more world levels to go, but... And I already have enough adventure rank experience. I don't know if that's readable with how small it is, but I've got 414,000 experience saved up for a mere 26,000 needed for next level, which means I'm probably going to get like 5 levels when I do level up by completing that ascension quest. But the higher your world level is, the stronger the enemies are. And my level 80 and 90 characters, yes 90, some of them are the level cap of the game, are already having some trouble with the current level 78 enemies of this world level. So I really don't want to get those 2 extra world levels up. Okay, next up on the left is events. Permanent stuff also goes here, like, say, like the Spiral Abyss. In this space where the Spiral Abyss is on mine, for a new player, you'll have the player's choice or something. It was called something like that, where that's where the freebie Zhan Ling is. And that's just telling you, if you go to the Spiral Abyss and make it through floor 3, you get a free Zhan Ling, who is actually a really nice character. She's one of my favorites. A lot of my favorites are the freebies, even though I've got a lot of the higher tiered random chance ones from the banners. And the last thing on the radial menu, at an up and left, is your battle pass, which doesn't unlock until I think adventure rank 20. Anyway, if you buy the Gnostic Hymn battle pass thing, then when you reach battle pass 30, you get one of these freebie weapons, which are glorious. Well, 2 of them are glorious. The rest of them I'm pretty disappointed by and don't actually have because I just don't like their abilities. But eventually I will get all 5. Yes, I have been paying money into this game just for the battle pass weapons, really. But the battle pass also rewards fates. But I think it's just a quaint. Nope, there's the other kind of fate. Can I look at that? Intertwined fate. That's what those ones are called. But yeah, so that's everything accessible from the radial menu. And I actually selected my character list again. Now, the rest of the interface, poof from the start menu, or options menu, I guess, because they didn't want to use the word start on that button anymore. I forget which generation of PlayStation stopped doing that. We have, over on the sidebar, we have a camera where we can take photos. This is actually used in quite a number of quests, despite the fact that you're given a gadget that is a camera from one of your quests that could very easily be used instead. Notices, which are just annoying. Every time the developers do something that they feel like needs noticing, you'll get a notification here, and it'll bring up this big like newsletter website, and only my microphone audio is being broadcast, which means it's not going to show you this big website when I'm talking to you. Sorry. But it's basically it's your basic website format. List of links down the left side, bunch of information in the main panel. Click a link to see the different information. Down below the notices is the mail. I saved some birthday letters from my favorite characters that I don't in some cases ones I don't have. But every year on each character's birthday, they'll send you a letter with one of their specialty food, some random item, and some words written like from the perspective of that character. Down one more is the clock. Here you can change time. You are a Time Lord. You can adjust time as needed.
We take down
Settings. You'll probably use this all of like twice But that's about it. They call the menu the Paimon menu. Dusky, do you kind of get in the way of what I'm reading? Yes, baby, I love you. It's my ball of black fluff that is on the screen right now. Well, she's not on screen, but she's standing between me and the screen because she likes to chase mouse cursors and other things on the TV screen. Oh, fine. You don't want to be on camera. Go ahead, get in the box. Alright, so now out of the sidebar. From this menu, you also hold square to exit game, or hit up to see or lower your world level. The lower your world level option only becomes available once you've reached adventure rank 25 or 35 to get your world level sufficiently high to where the developers think it's fair for you to be able to, yeah. So there is hope for people who feel like your party is too weak for the current world level. Yeah, after reaching world level 5, which that would be adventure rank, I think 30, actually. Left gets you all your profile stuff. Editing your profile lets you change that quote beneath your face, change your name, change your name card, or copy your user ID to send to somebody else. But if somebody's in game and able to receive this, they're already got your world ID. Now on the main page over here, you can oh no, showcase is somewhere else. You can also change your avatar. Mine is currently Kaching. Change your name card from here, change your nickname. Okay, all the same options. Why am I bothering to go over that? Because I'm dumb. Anyway, I told you I'd show you the shop. This is where the game wants you to spend real money, which I did for the outfits. I like these girls, so I got them their beach outfits. It's also, if you do spend money on this game, the things I recommend you do it on are the Battle Pass and the Blessing of the Welkin Moon. Because this thing gets you a total of 2,700 Prima Gems spread out over 30 days and 30 Genesis Crystals. That's enough for close to two full 10 slot wishes. And with the wish system, I would recommend you not even bother doing it unless you have enough to do a 10 wish. Because every 10 wish guarantees at least a 4-star. Yeah. Now, I don't have Welkin Moon up mostly because it annoys me. Not because it's not useful enough, but or too expensive, because it's $5 for per month if you want to do that. But that's $5 a month on top of the Gnostic Hymn, which is $10 a month, so it'd be $15 a month for this game that's otherwise free. But the reason why it annoys me is when you first log in, it causes a lot of lags. It pops up and basically forces you to pay attention to it. Like, notice me, Senpai, before you can actually play. Now, the crystal top-off is where it wants you to spend real money. Everywhere else, it actually has you spend Genesis Crystals, which are or other special currencies. Which these Genesis Crystals are what you buy for the, real cash. Do not recommend, unless you really are desperate for a particular character and have the disposable income. Yeah. Now, the Paimon's Bargains area is where you're spending all the other special currencies. That is, we've got Fates. You can just straight up buy certain characters. There's the Royal Weapons, which I don't even know what their abilities are, but I'm not buying any of those until I've got all the characters that I'd ever want. Which, with them constantly introducing new characters, I probably never will. Ascension materials for stuff. I did buy the Beidou out of here. With the Star Glitter, I recommend you only spend it straight up buying characters, because buying Fates is buying a chance for a character. And that's... You've got a surplus of star glitter, but if you'd rather save your star glitter in case a 4-star character you want ends up in the shop, that way you can just straight up buy that character and have them. Stardust, every month I recommend spending the... What is this? Like 375 times 750 Stardust every month if you have it. Spend it to buy your 5 Acquaint Fates and Intertwined Fates. They're always at 40% off. Or at least, in my experience, they always have been. But yeah, every month buy those. That gets you 5 Fates, which is half of a 10 slot, half of a 10 wish. And of course, you can use Prima Gems just to buy Fates directly. You can also do this from the Wish interface, so there's no real point in coming to the shop to do it. Party setup. I really think this one should be on the Radial Menu. This one and the clock should somehow be fit onto the Radial Menu instead of being where they are. This is where you can change your party. You can also set 4 possible preset parties. I wish there were more. I really do, because that way I could set specific party builds for specific bosses. Look, it's my original party! The one that I beat all of Masa and Leo with. If anyone wants to mimic me, this party doesn't kill things quickly, but between Noelle's shield and Barbara's healing, this party doesn't die. Just letting you know that. And all these are freebie characters. You get a free Barbara when you reach adventure rank 16, I think. 16 or 18, I think it was. It's some one of those. Noelle is guaranteed off of the newcomers draw, so you do that first thing. And Amber and the Traveler are just freebie characters. And yes, I keep my Traveler in Animo. I'm boring like that. Okay, back to the Paimon menu. Thank you, Paimon. For those who don't know, Paimon is that obnoxious little fairy. She talks far. That's floating beside my head, or not my head, but yeah. She talks far more than she needs to throughout the story, and almost never actually explains the information she promises to give you. Next on the Paimon menu is your achievements list. Each achievement rewards a certain amount of Prima Gems, so I would highly recommend anytime you've got the little red notification on the achievement list to find what achievement you got and grab it, because those Prima Gems translate to wishes, which translates to I just got more characters. Hi, Dusky. The archive is where all the archives where all the tutorials that I mentioned being temporary go after you've already checked them. And you also get a small amount of Prima Gems for checking tutorials when they're new. So, yeah, here's all the tutorials. There's also that living beings section that I went to for showing all the common enemies last time. There's also every piece of equipment you've gathered, every material you've gathered, all the books you found. A travel log featuring all the quests you've completed. Oh my goodness, there's so much in here. Geography with some beautiful viewpoint hotspots that you've seen throughout your travels. Lovely scenery. The archive is a great place for when you're not really feeling like making progress, but you want to kind of revel in the progress you've already made. Hi there, Tsuki. Sorry, both the kittens are freaking out. Suki's freaking out because she saw Darth Ma out walking the Daisy. She seems to go nuts whenever she sees someone walking a dog from the window. And Dusky, I think Dusky is just catching Suki's obnoxious. The character archive isn't an archive of characters you've gotten. It's an archive of all characters in the game, which includes the characters you've gotten. All lit up. As you can see, every character I'm still missing is a 5-star, and that's a travesty because there's only a 0.6% chance of getting a 5-star from a draw. She's a dork. She's also a dork, but I like this dork better. I like fireworks too, Yoimiya. Okay, anyway. Onward and overward, the character list was already on the Radial menu, so I don't got to show you that again. So is the inventory, quests, maps, events, adventurer's handbook, wish, battle pass, and co-op mode. The only things that are left in the Paimon menu that are not in the Radial menu are the special event window, which I can't access right now because of the fact that there are no special events running right now. Which is a lie. There is a Theater Mechanicus event going on, which is fantabulous and is one of my favorites. But this special events is specific to web events, where it has to load a web page for the event rather than, you know, loading something in-game for the event. Oftentimes, this just puts a QR code on your PS4 screen or computer screen or whatever that you have to scan with your phone and do the event as a mobile event, and I hate when they do that. I really wish they'd stop using that mechanic and just do everything in a way that the PS4 browser can handle it. Then there's feedback. If you feel like you need to talk... Oh yeah, another thing that the PS4 will switch to only microphone audio on. If you feel like you need to give the devs some feedback about the game, like if something is just tuned way too hard when you've got it over leveled, which is usually the complaints I'm feeding them, or if something is too easy and you are doing it with less than half of the level requirements recommendations, then that's where you go. Or if something is just not explained well and you need some idiot like me to fill in the blanks of what MiHoYo didn't explain with the interface, that's where you go, that feedback button. Also, MiHoYo will periodically send you surveys in the mail where you can also give them feedback, and so far I've only given them feedback through them surveys. Even though I've been really tempted on a number of things to do that thing with just going to the feedback option. Namely the Electrograna thing that I mentioned. Because those Electrograna, they're nice and all, but they kind of break multiplayability in certain areas because they have a cooldown. So only one player can have it at a time. But a lot of the travel in Inazuma basically requires the use of Electrograna, and if one player does it, they have to wait until that Electrograna cools back down so the other player can come join them. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. Obviously, I'm only in single player, so I can't show you with another player waiting behind me, but here's Electrograna. Up there's a Thunder Orb. This area is not one of the areas where it's actually important for two characters to both go together, because these Thunder Orbs were just to fetch an Electroculus, which is another thing I'll probably explain in a future video. But there's a quest called Full Speed Ahead, where you have to get from point A to point B within a time limit. Simple as that. But when that quest uses the Electrograna and the Thunder Orbs, you can't do it in co-op. It's just not an option because, well, one of you will have to go on ahead while the other one is staying behind, waiting for the Electrograna to recharge, and by the time it does, your time is going to run out.
No time to lose.
I do like the Thunder Orb mechanic overall, but it could be improved by, you know, making it so that the Electrograna are a per character thing instead of a full per world cooldown. But that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Oh, one last thing I'm going to explain that's not important to how Genshin works, but just explains why you see different characters in my party all the time. I changed my... I might have already explained this in a prior video, but I changed my party based around this friendship levels thing that you see in the bottom right of the character screen. I basically retire any characters that get Friendship 10 or my Traveler who can't get Friendship Experience as soon as I can, because most quests in the game reward Companionship Experience that fills up that Friendship bar. And at 10 you can't get any more of it. So, if you see me using characters that I don't even like Tartaglia here, or who aren't very powerful. Like, I don't have any in my party right now, but believe me, there are some nice examples of characters who kind of lack in power. That's because I'm using I'm using suboptimal characters because I'm just trying to build up their friendship level to unlock their name card and their dialogue quotes. Anyway, that's it for this video. I'll see you again next week, maybe sooner, because Kirsten's going back to work.
Oh, it's gone.
She's been, as I may have
Can I go
explained
take
in
a
a
look?
prior video, she's been off work due to having foot surgery lately, and that's why you've only been seeing me on Saturdays or Sundays during her shower time, because she doesn't really like being on video. She'd rather do back-end stuff for the channel, like art and video editing, but we don't do video editing, so that leaves art, which she hasn't been doing because she just is a procrastinator. But I love her, and yeah, you'll probably be seeing more videos with her being back to work and with the new school year starting up, so kids won't be here as often, because this year, unlike last year, I'm not sacrificing my Saturdays to go to more work, because we're not offering virtual learning to students who don't have internet. Both me and my boss agree that was a horrible idea in the first place. But last year, when my boss was asked on the fly whether we could do that, he didn't know, and so he just said we can try. And so we tried. It worked, but not well enough to actually be worth doing. Anyway, bye-bye everybody.